Hey, it's Wolfy-Chan, and I'm back with another anime first impressions. So this is going to go over the first three episodes of Kakarui or Kakuriyo. Bed and breakfast for the spirits. Bed and breakfast for the spirits. Yes, got it. It takes me a little bit. So this is a very amazingly cool anime that I saw the pictures to, and you can see different pictures to that. And was like, this seems very interesting, and I think I'll fall in love with it. Why not? And of course, I did with our main character, who is a human, who's been raised by her grandfather, who he sees spirits, and he sees yokai and ayakashi and all of those Japanese spirits, and has been going through their world and back and forth. And her grandfather happens to be a guy that like everybody in the so their world is called the hidden realm, whereas they call our world the apparent realm, which I'm gonna guess that it was just for the whole thing of apparently it's the human world. That's the only thing I can guess. But she, of course, has been giving yokai and ayakashi kind of food and taking care of them and all this stuff. And she's been growing up with them since she's been little. In fact, the first episode, we kind of get to see her talk to an ayakashi, and she's hungry. Her mom left her alone. Which, no offense, if you're gonna abandon your kid, can you at least abandon her at her grandparents' house? Don't leave a kid alone at the house for like 3 days straight. Just don't do it. But she leaves and she's hungry. And this Ayakashi she's talking to them and is like, all I want is curry. I want my mom's curry. And he's like, and it sounds like a he, and he's like, well, I can't do that, but here's a bun. And it's delicious, and she's so happy about that. Flash forward to she's an adult in college, and her grandfather has just died. I believe his name was Shiro? That sounds about right. I just finished watching the latest episode that's been dubbed, so I can't remember what her name is, but I do remember his name's like Shiro something. But she's kind of a big deal because she's related to him. But on her walk to go home, she's stopped by this Ayakashi that's next to this shrine. And he's like, I'm hungry. Kind of like that. And she's like, I really don't have any food. Will my lunch suffice? He's like, this is delicious. And then disappears. And she's like, it's okay. Well, as long as you're enjoying it, I guess. Yay. So she comes back to pick up her bento box, sees that there's weird lettering in it, like, oh, he's wrapped it. That's so sweet of him. Kind of unwraps it a little bit, and she's then transported into the hidden realm with the owner of Tenjinya, an ogre. Or an ogre demon, I guess you would call him. Which I thought like ogres were like onis, but maybe they're calling something different. But in this huge realm, he is the basically master of a restaurant slash eatery. So it's not like if you watch Spirited Away, and it's not like a bathhouse like that. It is more of a spirits come here and sit down and relax and just come together. So he takes her in and is like, you shall now be my bride. And she's like, I don't even know you. I don't know what you want, but we don't do this in the human world at all. And he's like, well, your grandfather left you for collateral because he ran up such of a debt. And she's like, my grandfather did what now? Ah! And Shiro has done this. He has left a rather huge debt in the wake of him dying. Um, and I only get subtle context clues from the next two episodes that he kind of did this for a reason. because he didn't know how she would be in the normal world without him. And I think he was training her to go into the hidden realm and live there because he didn't feel so normal in the apparent world. He felt more normal in that realm. So the first episode kind of goes over her not wanting to marry him, uh, going through torture, which is just, I'm gonna clean you, I'm gonna put new clothes on you, and I'm gonna put makeup on you. Eh, who taught Ayakashi this is torture? I don't know if it's like it was a joke kind of thing, but it's very weird. But she even then is like, I'm gonna work off my debts. I'm not going to marry you. Which even after the couple episodes, she seems kind of look at him as in more light, which is one of those things like you have to get to know the person before you marry them. Who'd have thought, right? So she is she goes with a nine-tailed fox, which is in the picture. In the picture. And he's like, yeah, I was making a restaurant so that, our guests who may be tired of that food can come over here and eat. And it was okay for a little bit, but now it's just not doing well. So she makes a couple foods she likes, and he's like, you should open up a restaurant. And I'm like, bro, reel it in. She just gave you one meal. Calm down. But so he's like, just think about it. You can make money off of that, right? So we now see Tengu, and Tengu do not want the same meal from Tenjinya as they have for so long. They're done with it. Well, the elder one, or the most old Tengu, fell and landed right in front of the little shack that is going to be the eatery. It's going to be. So she pulls him in, makes sure he's okay. Then he finds out he's hungry and makes really awesome food for him. So he loves it. She mentions that she is Shiro's granddaughter, and that he's no longer with us, which has been a lot of Ayakashi's kind of dismay and didn't know. Some of them don't like him, but a lot of them thought very grand of him. So at the end of this episode, the Tengu are like, well, as long as you fed our elder really good, we're not gonna like be mean or anything. And you know what? Because she is Shiro's granddaughter, that makes her my granddaughter, and I'm gonna take her and pay off her debt. And she's gonna live with us in the mountain. And she's like, well, that's really nice of you, but I should pay for it. I should do that. And he's like, okay, well, then I'm going to give you the gift that I was supposed to give to Shiro to you. And it is a fan, like a leaf fan. And everyone's like, oh, she is getting that? Because it's a sacred treasure. So she's like, I really can't. And he's like, look, Shiro's dead, so you have to take the debts that need to be repaid from him to him. So here, you take this. She does, and, they now make a pact, the Master of Tenjinya, the ogre, with her that, yes, you can open up a restaurant. So the second episode, I believe, they go into the capital, and she puts on a mask because she can't be human there. Who knew? And I believe this goes over like a couple episodes. Yeah, no, I know where the third episode lies. Sorry, I watched the fourth one and I'm like, but they go to the capital, meet Susanoo, which is the sister of the guy who's head attendant. Finds out that she and her brother were taken care of by Shiro, and that she's wondering why he's not there. And the master passes it off that he's really busy, which, okay, fine. But the master's also into spoiling our main character because she sees this bowl and it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And he's like, I'll buy it for you. And she's like, no. But the ice lady, who is head attendant for or head junior attendant for all the guests. So there's somebody to see them in, somebody to take care of them when they're out and about. She was the one who was like, nope, you are not going to we're not going to give you a job taking care of the rooms and stuff. So, but she's there also to kind of slip her up and see if she'd be eaten by demons, which she has the fan, uses it, and it's like thousands of wins. Um, but you then find out that Susanoo was bought by a guy who's basically kind of a predator, and she doesn't want to be there anymore because she's not going to want to marry him. She doesn't want to. So the master takes her, of course, Snow Lady, and our main character all back to the ships because there's flying ships in here. Woot! And the guy is like a Ayakashi of fabric or something like that. I can't remember what they're called, but I've seen them in Inu Expoku. Yeah. So he basically is trying to get him back, trying to get Susanoo. And so she's like, the master is like, she is the daughter of Shiro, and that's why she has a fan, because she blew him back behind. And they're like, not him! And I'm like, dude, what did your grandfather do? What did he do? But they both jump back onto the ship and go back home. Well, the head attendant is now exiled for a month or a week. I don't remember the timeline. Because they got back, she was supposed to stay there and take care of the place. And she, I think, is in love with the master. I think. And then, so she has kind of no place to go. So our girl goes back, and by the way, he dolls her up really prettily to go to the main capital, so it's really adorable. And he puts a deadline on how long she can run a restaurant to pay back the debt, which is there's this weird crystal camellia, I believe it's camellia, flower on it. When that blooms, she has to be done finishing the debt. If not, I believe it's implied that, like, you have to marry him. So, then we move on to the next episode, which is the Snow Lady being sick. And she goes, one of the people who take care of the room brings her over and is like, you need to take care of her because the master's not really going to, and nobody's going to really take care of her now. And she does. She finds like a medicine book on like what makes snow women and all the other Ayakashis better. So if snow people are near fire for too long, which the fabric people started to light the ship on fire and she was near it, like a potato, instead of putting it out, she just fire. But to make her feel better, she makes tofu ice cream, which I didn't know you can make ice cream out of tofu. It's very interesting. But she doesn't have like sugar and heavy cream and all that stuff, so she makes it with what she has. And gives it with some medicine to the Snow Lady, and she's like, I don't want to eat anything from people, from humans like you. She's like, well, you either eat that or stay grumpily like you are and have to be in here forever. Walks out, and of course she starts eating it and starts feeling better. And then we hear about her story after she gives her more of a big bowl of ice cream. That she was sold off by her family, if I remember right, and was traded by different places to then have a lady that was basically going to bring her to Tanzania, and she either dropped a plate or dropped something very expensive, and the lady started hitting her, and the master is like, nope, no woman should be hit around me. Cool. That's nice of you. And takes her in, teaches her the trades and stuff like that. Well, he gives her to somebody else, and then she becomes a head attendant. And so that's why she admires him so much. And it's very cute, and you get to see her kind of grow a little bit better in character-wise. Then we see, because Susanoo and her brother are in the same place together, at the end of this, Susanoo has a fight with her brother, and they're both spiders, and she kicks him out of there. And she was going to bring ice cream for her to kind of have to cheer her up. Well, in the commotion, she got it on her head with the crystal ball because he bought her the crystal ball. Of course he did. Of course. But he makes an off comment when he comes by, like, you know that bowl is more of a bowl and not a hat, right? And she's like, wasn't planning on wearing it. But so she finds the brother, who is an earth spider, takes him in, and is like, I'm going to heal you as best as I can. And he's like, don't want to eat anything from a human. And I'm like, whatever. And that's basically where episode 3 ends. And it's amazing. It's beautifully drawn. The colors are vivid and amazing. And it's just an awesome anime so far. And like I said, I've already watched episode 3. And I love it. I love it so much. And I'm going to keep watching this till the end. So, if you like this video, definitely leave a like. Leave it in the comment section below. Who's your favorite character so far? Mine has to be the nine-tailed fox, just because I like nine-tailed foxes. They're adorable. And I love that, like, when she first meets him, he's in a little kid form. He then turns into a little adorable fox form. Then turns into a lady. It's okay. Keep shifting. Keep shifting away. He's really cool, and I like him. And definitely don't forget to subscribe, that big red button, for more anime, manga, and something new or something different in reviews. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, the links are down below. And I hope that you've been having a very wonderful day. Wolfy-Chan, out. Bye.